Good morning, friends. Today we are going to learn the next part of our syllabus for your semester 4, that is poem Atovrik from your module number 6, part C. And this is the book of BA second compulsory, and we are going to learn now the poem Atovrik by Kari Shapiro. In the previous lecture, we learned about the selfish giant, the story by Oscar Wilde. And now we are going to learn the poem Atovrik from module 6, part C for your semester 4. See, here the biographical details of the poet in your textbook. Kari Shapiro, his period 1913 to 2000, an American poet, was awarded the Pulitzer Prize for Poetry in 1945 for his volume V Letter and Other Poems. See, he got Pulitzer Prize in 1945. Remember it for your objective questions. It is the record of the poems that portray the tension between the intensity of wartime experiences of World War II and a sense of detachments from events felt by the soldiers. Here, Kari Shapiro, in his particular volume V Letter and Other Poems, wrote about the tension between the intensity of wartime experiences of World War II. He experienced World War II in his life, in his uh, youngness, and he experienced World War II and wrote about in his poem. And a sense of detachment from events felt by the soldiers. So, condition of soldiers described in his poems. His poetry is strongly influenced by the poetry of both Walt Whitman and Beat poets. His work is characterized by social criticism. See, his poetry influenced by Walt Whitman and the Beat poets, who are related and famous as the war poets, and wrote about the experiences in World War II. And his work is characterized by social criticism. His works, poems, always write about the social criticism of society, events in the society, that is the World War II. The present poem, that is Atovrik, is about the death of many people who die in an awful car accident, and also comments on the reactions of many people about the terrible mishap. See, this is the particular poem about the mishappening of, that is, car accident, and the people from the road, how they reacted to watch that car accident. So here writer presents the mentality of the poet, of the particular people about the particular accident. So what is the meaning of wreck? The badly damaged vehicle or human body. So here is a accident, car accident, event of car accident is described by the writer, by the poet, to show the particular themes in the society and the particular mentality of the people in the society. So it shares the poet's views on death, fate, coincidence, and the envisioning of reality. So here we can understand the theme of death, fate, coincidence, and the envisioning of reality. See, here is the exact poem about The Autowreck by Carl Shapiro. Its quick, soft silver bell beating, beating. What is the meaning of here? Soft silver bell beating, and down the dark one ruby flare, pulsing out a red light like an artery. The ambulance at top speed floating down past beacons and illuminated clocks, wings in a heavy curve dips down, and break speed entering the crowd. The doors slip open, emptying light. Stretchers are laid out, the mangled lifted and stowed into the little hospital. So, see, there is a particular poem written in the lines, and there is no such stanza pattern to this poem. See, in the page number 158, the small particular beginning of the poem, how the ambulance came and there is an accident, and how the stretchers are laid out, the mangled, the people lifted on the stretchers and went to the hospitals. So mangled means the greatly damaged people. So, and break speed entering the crowd. So, people entering in the crowd and watching whatever happened in that particular place. Then the bell breaking the hush tolls one. So, here the particular symbol or particular word, that is the silver bell beating. We can understand the siren or the volume of the ambulance. Then the bell breaking the hush tolls once, and the ambulance with its terrible cargo. Cargo, it means the speed of that particular ambulance. Rocking moves away as the doors and afterthought are closed. We are deranged, walking among the corpses who sweep glass and are large and composed. One is still making notes under the light. That is, it might be a journalist making notes under the light. One with a bucket dodges pound of blood into the street and gutter. One hangs lanterns on the wrecks that cling, empty husks of locusts to iron poles. Locust, that is a type of African or Asian insect that flies in huge groups, destroying all the plants and crops. Here it refers to the crashed cars. So it is compared locust to the crashed cars. Into the street and gutter, one hangs lanterns on the bricks that cling, empty husks and locusts to iron poles. Our throats were tight at tourniquets. So, how the people never talked anything about that car accident. Our feet were bound with splints, but now, like convalescents, intimate and gauche. Convalescents, a person recovering from illness. We speak through sickly smiles and warn with the stubborn saw of common sense. See, that is stubborn saw of common sense is one of shows us how it is a very bad situation, and all the people only looking through it and watching that accident. The traffic moves around with care, but we remain touching a wound that opens to our richest horror. Already old, the question who shall die becomes unspoken, who is innocent. In this particular stanza, the people who are having accident, and the situation of that particular event is described by the poet in these particular lines. And he creates a question in front of us that is already old. The question, who shall die, becomes unspoken, who is innocent. For death in war is done by hands. Suicide has cause and stillbirth logic, and cancer simple as a flower blooms. But this invites the occult mind, that is occult hidden mind. Occult means hidden or undetected. Cancels our physics with a sneer. Sneer, a display of contempt, and spatters. Spatter, to splash with small droplets to sprinkle, and spatters or spreads all we know knew of denouncement, that is the conclusion, across the expedient and wicked stones. Expedient governed by self interest. So, here we can understand how the last part of the poem shows us the particular event of the death that poet described. For death in war is done by hands. युद्धामध्ये एकमेकांना मारलं जातं. सुसाईड हॅज कॉज, आत्महत्या करण्याला काहीतरी कारण असतं. अँड स्टील बर्थ लॉजिक, अँड कॅन्सर, आजारी पडून माणसं, काहीतरी रोग होऊन माणसं जातात. सिम्पल ॲज अ फ्लावर ब्लूम्स, बट दिस इन्व्हाइट्स द अकल्ट माइंड. पण आपण एखादा ॲक्सिडेंट बघितल्यानंतर आपला अनडिटेक्टेड माइंड आणि हिडन माइंड तिथं समजतं की आपण त्या सिच्युएशनला कशा पद्धतीनं वागतो, काय करतो. कॅन्सल्स अवर फिजिक्स विथ अ स्नियर अँड स्मॅटर्स ऑल वी न्यू ऑफ डिनाउन्समेंट. आपणाला त्या गोष्टींचं कन्क्लुजन माहीत असतं. अक्रॉस द एक्सपेरिमेंट अँड विकेड स्टोन्स. सो here we can understand how particular car accident is described by the writer, and how the ambulance reached at the place, how injured people shifted into the ambulance, and what do the cops after departure of the ambulance, and what is the reaction of people about the accident, and the people react about death in car accident. So this theme of the death is the important part in this particular poem, that death in the poem shows us the reality of the life, criticism on the society, and symbolically the death is presented here through the car accident. It is a suddenly happened event, and what will be the situation and the reactions of the people is described by the writer. The particular poet, Kari Shapiro, he himself experienced the war situation, World War II, and participated in World War also. And in this particular poem, he described the event of car accident and shows what is the reaction of the people on the death in that car accident. So here we can understand how the death theme is used by the poet Kari Shapiro. So through this poem you can understand in at the time of the any accident, if it is happened in front of your eyes, what will you are what will be the reaction of you people. So this is the most important poem prescribed for you if you experienced any accident or reasons of road accident. If you know, write down about road accident and try to understand what will be the reaction of you people for that particular accident. There is a many events in life which are suddenly happened in the life, So death theme, coincident, and the theme of, that is theme of reality, is used in this poem. In the next lecture we will learn about the next part of module number 7, the journey by Mary Oliver. And here we end for this particular poem. In the next lecture we will learn the next part, that is again the poem, the journey, the poem by Mary Oliver. So here we end for today. See what are the questions on this particular poem: scheming and scanning questions, multiple choice questions, and the short notes, and the questions in 3 to 4 sentences. Vocabulary exercise is there, and last written activity, writing activity, that is write a paragraph of about 250 words on reasons of road accident, or write an essay of about 250 words on the accident that you have seen. It is for your development of the written skill, writing skill. Till then, stay home, stay safe.